last year.
And a couple years later, he was huge. We've done this once. So all these questions you've already answered and everything. It's all good. Just jump back into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Brick by Brick. On this episode, we have GCamBigg. He is a content creator and streamer. If you want to introduce yourself real quick.
All right, yeah. So
again,
my name's Cameron. Yeah. My name's Cameron Garcia. You can call me GCamBigg. You can call me Big. You can call me GCam. And I make YouTube videos. I stream, and that's about it. I'm having the time of my life.
All right. And I said again because we actually recorded this podcast. Let's see, on what day did we record it? Like Sunday? Saturday. Was it Saturday?
It was a week ago, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it was Saturday, and today, Saturday again. I opened everything up in Premiere Pro to start editing it, and I had no audio. OBS and the Elgato Wavelength software got out of sync with one another, so we're recording it again because we did have. It was a good conversation. We talked a lot about Optic and origins and all that sort of stuff. So let's run it back. Give us a quick introduction on yourself. When did you first start watching Optic? And before you answer that, I did exactly what I did last week, and I forgot to ask the opening intro question, which is, what does Optic and the green wall mean to you?
Alrighty. So what they mean to me, and I've said this before, and everybody else has said it before as well. Family. It's literally just family. What's that dude from Fast?
Dude, I was gonna
Fast
say
and
it's a Vin Diesel meme.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
start playing the music in the background.
Dude,
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. There's a really big family. Not even just Optic itself, but the green wall too. You know,
Yeah.
literally, you can go up to anybody wearing green and just start talking to them. Literally, they're your brothers and sisters.
Except for last year. Last year you couldn't do that shit.
Oh yeah, okay. I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Well, I just,
yeah.
I don't know. In my head, like I was thinking about, I was like, dude, it's so true. Like when you go to an event and you see other people wearing Optic jerseys, it's like, you don't know these people. I mean, maybe you know some of them from like Twitter and stuff, but like everyone's so chill. And then I was like, I wonder how that was with Optic LA. Like it's a good thing we didn't have LANs last year, because that would have been fucking awkward.
Honestly, man, butterfly effect. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Butterfly effect. Okay, so I mean, if there was LANs, shit, the Optic versus Chicago one with the Envoy clutch on TJ.
Dude, I love
anything
how it all
could have
comes down
happened
to
with
Envoy.
crowd. Huh?
I love how like literally all of it comes down to Envoy winning that.
It's true, dude. I've had so many thoughts. Like, if it wasn't for Envoy winning that 1v1, like, where would Optic be today?
Well,
and then it was even mentioned in the process.
Like, yeah, I'm saying Hex said it at one point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember if it was on the process or the eavesdrop, but he was like we didn't want to say anything, but that round 11 made a big difference in the trajectory of getting Optic back.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is insane. I mean, that was nuts. That match was nuts anyways, but
it's crazy.
To later find out how much was actually on the line.
Yeah.
Like
all the behind the scenes of it.
Oh my God.
That got Envoy somewhere in the top 10 with Optic players that won play.
I mean, I've said it on a couple of episodes, like Envoy is probably one of my favorite players right now just to watch. Like he just understands the game really well. I think it was Jack Incisive that said watching him, it's almost like he has a bird's eye view of the map at all times. Like he just knows every single lane and cutoff, and like
yeah.
He just fucking route man. Route
I feel
man
like
gets paid.
I feel like when it comes to knowledge of the game, I think Envoy is up there. I know he's like super young.
I'd say he's like a top 3.
Yeah.
Currently, I mean, if we're talking like current gods.
Yeah. I think he's super quiet though, or he was before.
I think,
and then he got
comfortable,
and especially watching this recent process too. I mean, that dude's very vocal.
He's. It's weird because they're almost all in-game leaders when they need to be.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a dedicated. Like some teams have a dedicated IGL. Like them, I feel like on different maps and modes it switches. It's like, search raid, like, okay, boom, you got it.
yeah, this guy,
It'll even
yeah,
switch like mid match. Like sometimes you'll go into Astro Gaming listening, and it's like you'll hear somebody voice their opinion higher than everyone else just on a one round. Be like
Mhm.
Dashy or someone. Be like, guys, I think we should do this.
Yeah. One big one is Formal. I feel like Formal is like the one to lead the pack most of the time, and then I think Envoy, and then Scump and Dashy. But like you said, they're all very equally
Yeah.
vocal, and they know their shit clearly, right? Formal, Scump.
And I
I mean,
think
both
they're
have had.
all, oh, I mean, especially this last process, how it kind of brought us into like the mentality of, when they were losing. Like, I mean, they were still playing really well, but they weren't getting the dubs. And then
Mhm.
they kind of all just like hashed it out that one day or over a couple of days where it's like they just put it all on the table. I feel like that
Yeah,
allowed them to be comfortable again to where it's like they all respect each other's opinion. They all feel comfortable voicing their opinions on certain
yeah,
plays or whatever. Like, and I mean, it's showing
yeah,
so
clearly,
far,
yeah,
dude. Oh man, I started watching because when we recorded this last Saturday, it was right after they beat FaZe,
yeah.
and I hadn't watched the London match until I just started watching the London match last night.
Hmm.
And whew, boy, I don't
Honestly, I
understand
would.
how Scump is still doing what he's doing. Scump makes some
Oh,
fucking big plays still.
yeah, absolutely. I won't lie, but I wasn't able to watch this recent match. I have CDL pulled up though right now, so I'm
I
watching.
literally have like one of my Google tabs is the London Optic match, and
Oh, you were just going over it.
it's like halfway through. Yeah, I just finished the S&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
falling asleep in my chair last night watching it. It was like 2 a.m. I'm sitting here like,
I gotta get it in. No, I mean Twitter's got me though. Twitter is always talking about Scump and like with this topic too. Yeah, dude. I feel like at this point in a vet's career, because how old is Scump? He's like 26,
he's 26. Yeah, because
26.
I think he was born the
And,
same year as me, just a little earlier.
yeah, and then oldest player in the league is Clay. Like I feel I know like the older you get, your reaction time, kind of
Yeah,
goes down.
the
But
physical part of the game is gonna, go down a little bit, but like
yeah,
mentally, you've been through
yeah,
so many reps at that point.
exactly. Like once you've done it for so long, like for example, I'm just gonna use Clay too, because because apparently he's been doing GB since MW2. Like I feel like you don't just lose that. Like I
Yeah.
feel like a big part of it is the actual game, the game itself, and like engines and stuff, the engines that you go through, and that's
Hmm.
why it kind of
Well, I
kind
think
of
that's one of the hardest
destroys you.
parts for Call of Duty is because you get an annual release and they're on different engines and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
especially like, I mean, the Modern Warfare and Warzone engine, they built that from the ground up. And to my knowledge, that's the first new engine that they've
Hmm.
completely built from the ground up, not just updated,
Yeah,
since 2007. Like from
yeah.
2007 until what was right before Modern Warfare? Was it World War II?
Cut.
No, it was Black
What
Ops 4. It's Black Ops 4.
you mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure from 2007, COD 4 to Black Ops 4, they were playing on the same engine. It was just being updated annually. And then Modern Warfare, they actually built a new engine from the ground up.
Yeah,
I
they
could be
built that.
wrong, but like
I honestly, I think like
Modern Warfare's engine feels nice though.
no, you're probably right. Yeah, MW's engine, I like it a lot, especially in well, actually, I don't even know. I was gonna say in Warzone, but no, yeah, I like it a lot. It's just I wish what do you call it? MW. I wish they fixed their spawns and all that stuff. MW
Yeah,
comp was
yeah. But like gun
that's
feel,
what got us.
gunfights, all that felt really nice.
Yeah.
Slide canceling's garbage. I hate it. Uh, slide canceling's trash. But like I don't know, the guns feel good. The
Hmm.
movement, the movement's good. I like the feeling of Modern Warfare's movement better. It feels more smooth, or it feels faster. But Cold War's
Yeah.
movement feels more smooth, and I prefer edge sliding.
Hmm.
Like if we could somehow find like an in between of those two games, like
I feel like we might because with World War II right around the corner, with Vanguard right around the
I have
corner.
no hope for that game.
Huh?
I have no hope for that game. I'm all in on Battlefield, Halo, and Splitgate. By the way, thanks for
That's
telling me
true.
Splitgate came to console.
Uh-huh.
There was
You're very
one point
welcome.
where I think I had the number one KD on Xbox, according to Tracker GG.
I saw that well, yeah, I saw on Twitter. I was like, damn, this guy is.
I pulled up Tracker GG, and on their Xbox leaderboard, the highest guy was at a 3.15,
Uh-huh.
and for a few hours, I was chilling at a 3.52. It's gone downhill drastically in the last day and a half. I've gotten some doo-doo teammates.
Doo-doo team. See, it's always the
But
teammates.
I've also been playing that game for 2 years on PC, off and on.
Yeah.
So like, there's some noobs. I could tell.
Uh-huh.
I'm playing, and like, there's a lot of guys that like aren't utilizing the portals.
Yeah.
And like, or they are, but they're camping them. Like, they'll portal here and then portal here, and they'll just sit behind this one looking through it the whole time.
Yeah, and that happened to me so many times, but like not where I die. I just pop up right behind them, and they're looking through the portal, and like low key they can kind of see me through the portal too. So they're just like,
but they're like, what's going on? Like, they're confused.
Yeah. They're like, yo, who's
like,
my teammate's about to die, and you just get shot in the back. Like,
yeah. and to be fair, the game can get really confusing.
It can,
like,
yeah.
Dude, there with the first, like, I remember the first few times I played it, I was like, dude, there's so much going on, and like, without like a mini map, just the radar.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's all Halo stuff, really.
Which I never really grew up on Halo, so like, I'm still like a mini map guy at the end of the day.
Yeah. I'm kind of used to both. I grew up on both COD and Halo, thank God.
I'm a little more used to radar because over the last few years I have played a lot more Halo 5, and then Master Chief Collection. Like,
yeah,
but it's not embedded in me the way that mini maps are. Mini maps, I'm like, oh, dude, I'll read the fucking map all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was playing Splitgate last night, and man, there was like a whole team that's all they were doing was portal camping. And as soon as I figured that out, I went on like a 10 streak. I was like, oh, easy. Boom, boom, behind you. Boom, dip back out, come back in, boom.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all going to learn today.
Honestly, if that were to ever happen to me, and like, my main game is shoddy snipers. If that were to ever happen
shoddy
to me,
snipers too.
Yeah. Just look through the portal,
on
and
that
you see
open,
the little red on your reticle. Oasis?
Is the open like deserty type map?
Yeah, Oasis. Okay, that's my favorite shoddy snipers map.
That map, that map is fun for shoddy snipes.
Yeah, they're always camping, looking behind the portal.
There's another map that's like, it's almost like
the one
tree houses.
You mentioned tree houses.
Almost.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's in like the trees, but it's like a real nice looking like it's like a bunch of cubes, cube rooms everywhere.
Yeah, but like it's all surrounded by forests and stuff.
Yeah,
that's a really fun shoddy sniper map too. I was playing
on that map.
I don't know the name. I think Instagib. It's basically it's the railgun, but it charges up in a second, and it's a one-hit kill because it's the railgun.
Oh yeah.
And it's free for all. It's like it's free for all, pretty much snipers only, and always and it's insta kill. That game mode on that treehouse type map is fucking incredible. It is. Oh man, that's probably my favorite mode right now. Favorite like mode map combination.
It makes me so happy that this game is like, it's not even Battlefield, it's not even Halo.
Did you see the numbers?
The 65K, that's what they're capped on right now.
Yeah,
and you know they
1K to 65K in a week.
No,
they've added the maps that I wanted. True, yeah. I tweeted about it, and I popped on the next night, and the two maps I had mentioned, I don't know if they were already in the game, and I was just missing them, but I've played them a lot more now. Helix and
I think Helix was already Helix. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Helix,
that map was
I hadn't played it. I'd played it for like a few days, and I just hadn't found it yet. And I can't think of the other one. Outpost, I think. Maybe it's not sure. Outpost. There's one other map that I haven't played yet that I've played CTF on it. Like, I have a distinct CTF memory from playing on PC, and it was just fun as shit. Which I don't know if they have CTF in this beta.
I don't think so.
I'm trying to like imagine the list of game modes, and I don't see it. But CTF is super fun. You can portal straight to the flag.
I know, yeah. This game, like I said before, it's so refreshing.
Yeah,
and it's great that it's like another game that's, you know, like not big. It's
Yeah.
finally
And
something
I love that
new.
it's getting big though. Like it's finally getting traction.
It's blowing up. Like
Like bringing it to
it's super,
console, I think really
oh
got the
yeah,
traction. Like
yeah, absolutely. I don't even like because I found out about the game from my brother's friend. Like it wasn't even what do you
ads
call it?
or
It wasn't even
anything.
Twitter or anything. Yeah, it wasn't an
Yeah.
ad. Like it was literally just word of mouth. And by
I
that
don't even remember
alone,
how I found out about it. I
what do you call it? Yeah, but,
think I found out about it through Twitter, and it was like Snipe Down or like Ogre 2, or it was one of the
yeah.
old school Halo pros.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm pretty sure tweeted about it, and that's how I found out about it.
Yeah. I was trying to get George from TST to play it. I was in his chat and I was just talking to him and everything,
Dude,
and I was
those
like,
three
bro,
would
have you heard of,
be
dude, I know. I was like, bro, have you heard of Splitgate? And he's like, Splitgate? No. He's like, what's that? And I told him I was like Halo with portals, and he was like, oh shoot. He's like, that sounds pretty cool. I'm gonna have to check it out. And I told him I was like, if you and the TST boys hop on it, it's
dude,
clips
that
for
would be
days.
yeah.
It would be
That's a
such a great video.
there's like the way that those three have set up their stream and all that, like they
Yeah.
yeah, they'd be clips for days.
Like especially with Blake and
Dude,
his
I would say
Warzone snipes and
fucking
everything.
Blake would be hitting shots. Amos
I mean,
is kind of heavy in this game too.
uh
And like there's some where like I mean in Warzone I'm a pretty good sniper. But
mhm.
overall like I'm not as good at sniping as I used to be. But
Yeah.
I've hit a few like pretty nasty triple and quad kills with the snipe already.
In Warzone?
No, in Splitgate.
Splitgate, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
You see they're scaling back the aim assist through portals though. Through enemy
Really?
portals. Yeah, so like
Aim assist?
you know how you were talking about like, oh, just look at their portal and as soon as you see the red dot shoot,
Yeah.
they're scaling that aim assist down. Not aim assist all
Oh,
across the
really?
board, just aim assist through enemy portals.
Wait, are you saying that like they're strengthening that or
No. They're
oh,
nerfing
okay,
it.
thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
I feel like there shouldn't be any aim assist through well, you know what?
I
Maybe just a
think
little.
I
Not
think
a
that
lot though.
regular gameplay aim assist is at a good sweet spot right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was either
so
on
too.
Reddit or in the Discord. Someone's like, no, I
Mhm.
think they've done the best job finding a balance between healthy aim assist and like mouse and keyboard. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I gotta agree. Like, I don't feel this is the only game where I actually have no idea if I'm playing against a PC player or not, or a mouse and keyboard.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, actually I
being a controller player, most games it's like I can tell when someone's playing on a mouse just from
yeah,
how fast they'll fucking whip around. I'm like, you're either
exactly.
playing
No.
on 20 sensitivity with 0 dead zones,
Uh-huh.
or you're playing with a mouse. This game, most of the time, I can't tell.
Yeah, dude, that should happen to me. Playing shoddy snipers, I was behind somebody and I was shooting him with a shotgun, and this guy just whips around so fast, like it's the most
That
horrifying thing.
there was a moment I was playing shoddy snipes last night, and there was a moment where I was like, this guy might be on mouse.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, like there was still a maybe in there. It wasn't like, oh, this guy's got to be on a mouse. It's
Yeah,
like he probably was, or he could have. Like I haven't really explored how high the sensitivity goes in this game. So, for all I know, controllers can spin around that fast.
yeah.
But it was like a combination of how fast and the accuracy. This dude was hitting
think-
shots.
Oh well, there you go.
I was like, this man. I feel like he's just fucking clicking on my head.
I feel like with the whole portal thing too, there's a way for controller players to get around with keyboard too.
Yeah,
keyboard
like
and mouse.
movement wise and stuff. Okay,
Like I feel
so let me ask you this because you're on controller as well, right?
yes.
If you're like cross map trying to like hit a portal somewhere, how many tries does it take you?
Okay.
Because there's sometimes where I feel like I'm like before I finally land it on the little blue thing.
I mean it's pretty easy for me. Then again, I use paddles. So
Yeah, how many do you use? 4 paddles or just 2?
I use 4 paddles.
Damn, I can't fucking. I use 2. I've
I
been
know.
using 2 forever.
Yeah.
I cannot get used to 4.
Oh, yo, actually,
I accidentally squeeze.
I have it right here.
Which do you have the Elite Series 2 or the
No,
Scuff?
I found my Huntsman scuff. I can't even
Ooh.
open up the case anymore, dog.
Yeah, I've got the
and the
Elite
zipper broke.
Series 2. Damn.
Oh, I opened it though. The zipper just snapped off the scuff case though. I found it today.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, and yeah, before I used to use two paddles with the scuff, but then I was like, you know what? I have the money for it. I think I want to go with the Elite Series 2. So
Dude, I love the Elite Series 2.
yeah, it's
Like,
so nice.
outside of the Xbox 360 controller, which is unfucking touchable, that controller is perfect. This is probably my favorite controller I've ever used. I just can't
Yeah,
get used to four paddles.
yeah.
But I also
It's
take the left and right. And which ones do I use? So I have them on like the upper holes, right?
okay.
But I
Are
switch
they're the
both
smaller
of
ones,
these
right?
and I flip them upside down.
Upside down.
Yeah. So like they don't. I use the small paddles, but I
Yeah.
flip them and flip them upside down. It's weird.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
But
So
like
like instead of them looking down, it's up
they
like that,
point up a
right?
little bit.
And
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's because the first controllers that I used that had buttons, like this is the closest to the where those are.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I can't
I
do
mean, it's
four
all
paddles.
preference.
Can't do four paddles. I've tried. I
I think
do
it's
feel
like
like if there's one game that would benefit heavily from having four paddles, it is Splitgate.
split. Yeah, total 100%.
Let's turn into a
Uh,
Splitgate podcast. I'm gonna fucking launch a Splitgate podcast. I'm trying to get a freaking creator code for Splitgate.
dude, me too,
That's
dog.
gonna be my new jam.
GCamBigg in the creator.
Use code Astro.
Dude, that'd be
Get
sick.
yourself some
That'd be
Astro
so
speaker
cool.
tags while you're at it.
Splitgate Astro speaker tag sponsored by Astro. What?
Hey, those would be some cool
Um,
speaker tags. They'd have like a old school Halo vibe to them, just because they are kind of modeled after Halo. Even
Yeah.
like the logo, red, white, and blue, all that. Like,
I feel actually the red, white, and blue. I think that just comes from MLG
I think,
stuff.
yeah, well, I think that's just a USA thing too.
Oh,
NBA,
okay. That's
Major
true.
League Baseball,
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
PGA,
Yeah, you're right.
like I think it's just you're displaying our country's best athletes. I think it's just something that kind of happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're
That
right.
being said, I think MLG did it the best.
Oh yeah, the MLG is just so iconic.
All right,
Old black MLG t-shirts.
I'm gonna let's bring this back around to Optic a little bit. By the way, Optic, if you're ever looking to pick up a Splitgate team, right here, hello, how you doing? So we've gone over your background. We've gone over, the Vin Diesel like family that Hex has created with Optic. When did you first start watching Optic? We're gonna have to go through this whole thing again.
Over again.
Your whole freaking. I don't get why you're gonna just watch them when you could play the game. You're sitting there watching.
Yeah, so really exactly what he said was my youth. So yeah, I started watching probably back in Black Ops 1 probably, which is 2011, 2010. Right? No, it's 2010. Yeah, 2010. So
Black
that
Ops
was
1 was 2010-11.
2010,
Released in
11, yeah.
November of 2010 is when it came out.
I forgot what age I was back then. I was like 7, I think we were talking about.
Yeah, I think you said you were like 7 or so.
Yeah, so I was like 7, and my brother introduced me to like competitive stuff, but really just like Optic. And then one of the first Optic members I started watching with my brother was Hutch, and at the time I didn't even know Hutch was one of the
Hey, how
old
you
men
guys
of
doing?
Optic.
My name's Hutch, and I make videos and put them on the internet.
That's perfect, man. I'm literally on a podcast with Hutch right now.
Fucking love Hutch.
Yeah,
Hutch and
there's this
Nanners.
and Sark. Don't forget Sark.
You can't forget Sark.
Can't forget him.
Or Gassy. Max, can you pretend you're like you're Morgan Freeman coming to kill me?
Freeman coming to kill me.
I can smell you. I'm
Dude,
creeping around right now. Just can't.
We're taking this so far right now. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, 2010, 2011. I started watching Hutch with my brothers, and exactly what Miles just said. I was like, why do you like watching people that play the game when you have the game? I was like, that's so stupid. And I thought I had that in mind for like another like 3-4 years until I got into competitive by myself. Me and my brother were still watching comp and everything, and then I first got into competitive with Optic back in AW, and so from there I was watching a couple of games every here and there. I started watching Hex and his like Mexicandy stuff, his content
A
stuff. Yeah. And I started watching more Scump videos going into 2015, and then it was just like ride or die with Scump for with Scump and Hex for a couple of years. I kept watching Hex vlogs, kept watching gameplay videos from Scump, and then I just got more and more into it. Within recent years, since like Black Ops 4, maybe I started getting into um, more Optic members. Courage joined. I got into Courage. I started watching actually before that too. I guess I can say back in like Black Ops 3, I started watching Midnight. Started watching Jewel 2. Started just a bunch of uh old school Optic members. And then yeah, going into the recent years, started watching more Crim. Started watching more Dashy. And then Envoy joined with Chicago Huntsman. Started watching some Envoy. It just grew since Black Ops, really. Excuse me. Yeah, it just grew since Black Ops. And yeah, I've been watching a buttload of Optic, like seriously, since 2014.
So that would have been like 14, 15 or so with
Yeah.
AW.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. I like the mentions of Jewel, Midnight, some of the old school Optic members from back in the day. Why would you? I was actually thinking about this, right? Like the whole why would you watch when you have the game? And it's the same thing that like whenever I try to explain esports to people, especially like in high school, right? Because like I first really got into esports in like Black Ops 2, which was like 2013. I was like a junior in high school, and like back then, gaming wasn't cool. Gaming was the thing the nerds did. All right.
Yeah.
Like now everybody wants to be a streamer. Everybody like, and I think Fortnite is a big part of that. Like Fortnite
Absolutely.
made it cool, especially the whole Ninja and Drake thing.
Uh-huh.
And also the current influx of athletes across the NFL and NBA. Like these are all people that are, 18 to 25 and grew up during the generation where gaming was just like a thing. So like
Yeah.
all these professional athletes, it's like now I play games on the side. Like that's what I do to chill.
Mm-hmm.
But like something I used to always tell people back then was like, people were like, well, why do you watch people play Call of Duty? Why do you watch people play football? Why do you watch the NBA? Like, why don't you just
Yeah.
go out there and play football? Why don't you go join a league? Why don't you go play basketball? It's like because you want to watch people play at a level that you know you're not capable at. Like
Yeah.
that's part of it. Like you can't compete in the NBA, but you still like watching the best of the best do it. Like
Yeah.
and
It's still hella
some
entertaining.
people, are going to take that the step further and use it as a way to learn and like try to get to that level.
Yeah.
And it's different with gaming too because it's not as physically like important. Like I feel like in the end, like if you're 5'6", your chance of getting in the NBA is pretty low.
Yeah.
Like you have better be the fucking best ball handler with the best court vision, quick as fuck. You better be able to steal because like you ain't getting past Shaq. Sorry. Like and if you're, same thing for football. Like if you don't have the right build, it is going to be a lot harder for you to make it in the NFL. You're playing against people that are just built different, right? But with gaming, I feel like on that regard, a lot of it comes down to just how dedicated are you to actually getting better. And I think there is an aspect of finances there where it's like, yeah, in football, you can buy the nicest helmet, but it's not going to make a huge difference versus if you could buy a 3090 versus, a $50 graphics card. Like, yeah, okay, you're playing at a little bit better game than the guy on the budget build.
Yeah, I feel like I guess you can use that now. I'm just thinking about like Black Ops 1 times MW2. I mean, everything was at the same price at the time. I mean, you're always playing on 360.
Yeah, and it's different with PCs becoming with the more of a standard.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like,
Nowadays,
PC parts.
yeah.
But even like Crim, I don't remember if it was on. I don't remember what platform it was on, but he said something where he was like, back in Modern Warfare 2, like if you just had if you were playing on a monitor, you were already better than people because everyone was playing on a TV. So like having the low input lag, and I mean, I guess back then you probably didn't have a huge refresh rate difference, but just the input lag, it's like just playing on a monitor versus a TV, that made you better than 90% of people.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah. From playing on a TV to a monitor is already a insanely big
Yeah,
difference.
especially back then when TVs were like the input lag back then was terrible on TVs.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, all right, so you've been watching Optic seriously for a while now, right? 5, 6, 7 years.
Hmm.
Um, in your opinion, I mean, besides the family aspect that Optic has brought, what do you think makes Optic different from other orgs? And I'm assuming that at some point in these last 5, 6 years of seriously watching, you've also explored other orgs' content like FaZe and 100 Thieves and stuff.
Yeah. So comparing them to, I'm gonna use FaZe and 100 Thieves. Comparing them to those guys, FaZe have like they FaZe had like that family. They had that close knit group.
Mm-hmm.
They had that the FaZe house, era where all the
Yeah,
kids were.
was it the New York FaZe house?
Yeah, like all the Nike neon kid wearers were all like, "Yo, phase up," all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like that was their like close knit time, But then it got bigger and it got super big, and they kind of branched out with like Bronny James. It's more than gaming now,
Yeah.
which is I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but comparing it to Optic, I haven't seen their close like knit family type stuff. Like they haven't switched from that. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's always been like them, And I know it kind of sounds selfish, but um I think that's what kind of separates them because FaZe is more of like a brand now. 100 Thieves I feel like was already
I'd say
that
100 Thieves is a
brand.
little different because they started out as a clothing and apparel company
Yeah, yeah.
and they were able to re-enter esports.
Yeah, and then like with both like FaZe and 100 Thieves with them, being super big. The thing with Optic, like I mean they're still growing as a team. I mean Optic Gaming was like
Mm-hmm.
what I forgot because they did have like a I don't want to say a stat line, but they did have something that they were like, oh, we're like the number one esports organization, and but that was like before the whole Chicago Huntsman stuff. I still think they're growing and everything, but it's like when you think Optic, you don't think like just certain people. Like you think of the entirety of
Yeah.
Optic Gaming. Like
I
you're
think
like,
if
oh
you
yeah,
think
I
of
remember Midnight. I remember.
any individual, Hex is the only one that like
Yeah,
I feel like in today's day and
either
age, it's like Hex and Scump.
Hex and Scump, yeah. But I just feel like with what Optic is doing, like they're promoting a bunch of more other people, and like for pre-shows, they got General now. I mean, General was such he was unknown to us before
Mm-hmm.
Huntsman, and so like they're promoting. I mean, Huntsman's a big part of the pre-show. I know he has his own challengers team, and he's not there for like certain content stuff, but he's always there for the pre-show. He has I forgot what the name of his little segment, but general knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and he has that. So I mean, General's Optics doing that for General. Uh, TST, what do you call it with Hitch? Before the whole Huntsman stuff, Hitch was a name in Optic clearly, but he was just that camera guy. Well, he
Yeah.
wasn't known
Well,
as
he
just that
was
camera guy.
before Huntsman and everything, like he was a lot more behind the scenes kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly. And then now that he's doing his own thing, like Hex, he's like, "Yo, do it." And then I mean, Hex was, or I should say, TST. Hitch was like super blessed to get George and Blake, some childhood friends, to finally become Optic members. I feel like that closeness and that being a family. I think because I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you were to ask Hex, like, "Hey, what do these guys think? What do you think of your teammates, of your players, the people that your friends?" And then, like he's gonna say family,
Yeah.
right? And I just think like, okay, let's go back to comparing like 100 Thieves and FaZe. I'm not gonna say that they're like not family to certain people, but it's just there's so many outer people now in 100 Thieves that it's just kind of like
It's like I
there's
feel
certain
like there's
people.
like the close knit, like the select
Exactly. Yeah.
few, right? Like Courage,
Yeah.
Nade, Logan Dodson, who's been there
Yeah.
forever,
There's
Jackson
always
Dahl.
different groups
But
in those
it's like you
organizations,
get
but with Optic,
five to
it's
ten
already.
people, and then outside of that, it's like now you start having. It's like okay,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah. It's the
Banks,
outer circle.
Temper, like you have the OG Phase guys, and then you got freaking Bronny James. But
Yeah.
it's
You
like
have
sure he's
the
part of
new
Phase
guys.
Clan, but it's like this is also LeBron's kid. Like he's gonna have his own circle.
Yeah.
And then like I mean, I feel like you naturally have to kind of include LeBron in there too, just because like it is his dad. It's like that's an entirely different world.
He's got the
in
same
different
name.
circle. Like,
Mhm.
and then didn't they just sign a rapper too? I don't follow hip hop and rap too much, but didn't they just sign
I'm honestly not too sure. I mean,
I
I don't
think
doubt that they
they
did
did. I
sign.
think they have like one or two rappers as part of FaZe now, and it's like something the way that I've always worded it on past episodes, because most people's answers are basically what you said, but like not as in depth.
Mhm.
I always say like it's the close knit factor. And like with FaZe, FaZe is the largest following in esports, collective following,
Yeah.
by a lot. Like it's a big margin. No one's coming close to them.
Mhm.
FaZe, and granted, I started watching Optic in the era where I saw FaZe come into the scene, and I hated them because I hate trick shotting. I hate
Yeah.
setup trick shotting. The trick
Uh-huh.
shotting that like some people do, where it's just like in the natural flow state of the game, like what you see Blake do and stuff, where it's like, I don't know, I decided to randomly throw a fucking knife across the map and it hit someone. Cool clip, but it's like, no, I sat on top of a building, one man army, just stunning the last guy in search. And after 3 minutes, I finally hit a shot. Like, that's what I hate. I hate the setup.
Yeah.
But like with FaZe, I'm like, okay, even if you're an old school FaZe fan and you've been watching them since the early days, like they expanded so far beyond, they transcended gaming in such a big way. And I think it's good that they did it. I think somebody needed to do it. I'm
Mhm.
just glad it wasn't Optic.
Yeah.
Like Optic could have, I mean, they could have done everything that FaZe did. There was a long period of time where Optic was bigger than FaZe.
Mhm.
They had more opportunity there to transcend gaming, get out of Call of Duty. I'm glad they didn't.
Do you think that they would have gone that route if it weren't for Immortal Gaming taking over?
No,
You don't think so?
no, because so there was. I mean, I think they would have tried it. I think they would have gone that route, but smaller.
Okay.
Like I think that they would have tried to expand, but I don't imagine they would have gone to as like kind of globally big people.
Yeah.
I think they would have expanded to just different things. Like you would have seen them go, especially with Hex at the helm. Like I would see them, going with more like outdoors sportsman type stuff because Hex is so big into like fishing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And like UFC, like there was the whole point where they had freaking what's his name, UFC fighter had the Optic logo on his shorts.
I'm not sure.
It was during the Scuff House time. It was
Yeah,
like
I don't think I
2015,
know.
16 or something. But they had a UFC
Mhm.
fighter like repped the Optic logo on his shorts, and like so they did start to branch out,
Yeah.
but it was still niche stuff. Like UFC, even though it is huge, like it's not the NFL, it's not the NBA. Like
Yeah, yeah,
fighting
yeah.
as a sport is its own weird little niche thing.
Mhm.
Um, Outdoor, sportsman type stuff, hunting, fishing, like still
Yeah.
huge. There's still millions of people that do it, but it's not as like globally recognized.
Mhm.
Especially when it comes to content. I mean, just look at what Hex has done with who like Guggen Squad and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's no Optic logo on Guggen, right? And then
no.
even on his Bastards brand too. So, I mean, yeah, I know.
But it's like, I mean, take like how many people, I mean, I'm not sportsman like at all. Like I don't follow hunting, fishing, or any of these companies really. But
Uh-huh.
like I know that outside of a select few, there's no one making content in that area.
Yeah.
Golf, same thing. Like I know that's something Nadeshot's trying to capitalize on right now. Is
Mhm.
like there's not a lot of golf content out there, uh, at least not in a way that like makes people. Oh man, like I really want to go play golf. Like I love
Yeah.
100 Thieves. I love Nadeshot. Nadeshot golf, so I want to golf. Golfing
Yeah.
seems fun. It's like no, you just see pro people golfing, and you're just like, eh.
Yeah.
I think that Rambo should do that with bowling.
Golf?
No, bowling. Rambo Ray
Oh.
Lucier,
Uh-huh.
the Canadian.
Oh, you should do that with bowling?
He could. Like
That'd be some
he's
great
got
content.
envy, he's got an old school fan base,
Yeah.
and the dude's a freaking lights out bowler.
Mhm.
Like he's just lights out at everything he does though. Golf, Call of Duty, bowling.
He's just built different.
He's just built different. All right. So for the most part, I mean, I agree. The close knit factor is what makes Optic different. The other thing too is very, very few orgs actually do content.
Yeah.
Which is why, when I asked the question, I also just brought up FaZe and 100 Thieves because they're the only other two orgs that steadily and consistently make content. Some other teams do content, but it's like, we put out like a video every 2 months.
Would you consider like player content or player content, team content at the same time?
No.
No. Okay.
No, because that's something like Octane. I mean, I don't really follow the
True.
Surge, but like, did the Surge do any content really?
I think sometimes. I mean, I kind of followed them.
Like, I feel
very little,
like if they did, I would have heard about it by now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, or if they are making content, they're not doing enough content to the point where like I follow the league and it's still not crossing my radar, then they're not doing enough. Especially considering, the cost of a league spot.
Yeah.
But you have Octane, who does pretty good regularly.
Required. Some players are required, like in certain orgs, and I think I heard Octane say it too. Is that like Surge requires you to be uploading like a certain amount of videos a week? Yeah, and he talked about it too. I don't know if he talked about it on the eavesdrop with.
I do like Octane. I like that Octane is as open as possible with a lot of that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah,
and even if he's not supposed to talk about it, like he'll pay the fine.
Yeah,
Octane over the last few years has definitely become one of my favorite players. I would love to see him on Optic actually. I don't know if I would like to see him more than Dashy. Like during the Huntsman to Optic transition, I was thinking like, okay, what players do I want to step in? And it was literally Octane, Dashy. Those are the two. Like I didn't want anybody else. And I was like, Dashy is a better fit for the team, but I really think that Optic is a good home for Octane. Like the guy, he loves Hex. So he's got the vibes. Like he does the videos. Like he's a good fit.
Yeah.
But I also would hate to see him on the bench. Like he should not be a bench player.
Yeah, that's true.
TP same way. Like TP, I was kind of upset when he signed on with Envy because he's one where I feel like Karma, like the fact that Optic was able to get like Karma back. It's like TP, like he coached the team for a little bit. Like he played for Optic. Like he has the right vibes, the right mentality, the content. Like everything is there to where it's like I feel like Optic makes the most sense for him. Honestly, I have no evidence of this, but I think the only reason he went to Envy is because for some reason Optic couldn't make it happen financially at the time.
Yeah, that's understandable though. I mean, like that whole financial thing, you can see that in their content too. Yeah, I think
it's like I mean I have obviously no idea what their finances look like, but they can only spend X amount of money on players and behind the scenes people. And that's the only thing to me that makes sense is that at the time they didn't have a proper salary for someone like TP.
Yeah. I mean, still though, whatever they're doing it right. Yeah. I think Optic is.
Speaking of different members and content and whatnot like that, who's your favorite current member of Optic and your favorite all-time member of Optic? And you answered this last week, so you know the deal. It can be anybody. It could be a pro player, a content creator, a behind-the-scenes guy, whatever. The only person that is off limits is Hector Rodriguez.
Hex. All right. So for favorite current, and then favorite all-time. So for current, okay, I'm gonna. I don't know if I did this last time, but for the first one, for favorite current, I'm gonna go with the content, and then favorite all-time, I'll go with competitive. So favorite current would be Blake. I said this before. And I just think Blake is such a great personality. I think he's an insanely great fit for Optic. Big old example for being a great fit, great personality. Actually, I'll add this too. I mean, he's great at games, clearly.
Yeah.
And that's what we all revolve around. So I think that dude is literally the perfect candidate. No, not candidate, but he's already an Optic. Example is Blake was on the pre-show. I think he was in there for Big Timer. Like Big Timer couldn't make it.
Big T.
So yeah. So Uh, just the whole like his vibes, everything about that pre-show was insane. That dude can talk forever. Uh, I mean, I just popped on the pre-show when it was live, and I was on my computer, and I was just just listening to him
Well,
go off, and it's just the bounce back conversation. I love it a lot. And then the
I,
TST streams, that dude is a
I'd say
animal.
another good example of that too is like whenever they've done the throwback tournaments, like the TST ones, where you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
the TST guys hosting it. Like, granted, it's a little different because those three have been best friends for so long, but it's like
Mhm.
Blake's a perfect. He is just good at being on camera and talking.
Yeah,
Like he keeps
absolutely.
rolling.
Yeah, that dude
He's
either.
so the something like I don't remember who it was. I think it was Jess Brohard or something. She put out like a tip. She's like, so anyone that's casting, like if I could tell you one tip, it'd be like be good at filling because you never know when something's gonna go wrong and you're gonna be up there and the timing's off to where it's like you can't jump into the match and let the casters take over. You just
Yeah.
have to fill the space with something, like come up with some talking points, like be ready. Blake is perfect
Mhm.
at it.
Blake is very perfect at
Yeah.
that.
Like that
Yeah.
situation, if it ever happens, Blake will just be like, yeah, guys. So, anyways, I'm drinking Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros is a great coffee drink here in Northern California, originated in Oregon. Like, he could just talk about anything on the fly and keep
Yeah.
going for however long he needs to,
Yeah,
whether
and
it's
that's
2
because
minutes or 20.
that's because I don't even think he needs to be a filler. Like, of course, it's gonna be filler stuff that he's talking about, but I feel like with just one thing that somebody just lays down on him, immediately that guy's gonna be like, oh, okay, and then just continue that conversation, and then from that conversation, it's gonna branch out into literally
Yeah.
whatever
Which
whatever's common with what he's talking
I'll be
about.
honest, I feel like I'm decent at that too. And the more I think about like, okay, why would someone be good at this? I think it's like just depends on how fast your brain moves. It's like my
Yeah,
brain just fucking going all the time. And it's like
yeah,
I got an opinion about everything. You throw something my way, it's like I'm gonna have an opinion on it. I can talk about that. It can branch out to something else.
mhm.
There are
It,
some
it,
times where like I'll run into a topic or something where I'm like, yeah, I don't have much to say on that. But I also try to establish that. I'll be like, yeah, I don't know enough about said subject to talk about it. And then somewhere in there, like it'll branch out to something else.
Yeah. I mean, with that, you can like if you don't know something about it, if you're talking to somebody that knows something about it and you don't know something about it, well then hey,
It's a learning
teach me,
opportunity.
teach the viewers, that
Yep.
too. Um, and then like another part that you know the whole bouncing off of people and having that filler stuff. It's the whole like that part of the brain, that witty part of your brain. Like if you're arguing with somebody and you're coming with comebacks too,
Mm-hmm.
like on the spot, like that is one. That part of your brain is
So
also
that part of your brain that just quick.
exactly just being quick with however you're feeling. That also I feel like goes in with what you're saying too. The
Yeah.
whole filler part.
My problem with being quick is I'll usually say some hurtful shit. Like I'll be joking, like I'll be like in lighthearted fun, but there's sometimes where like I'll say something and I'm like, oh,
It didn't go through your filter.
no, yeah, the filter turned off
But
for a minute. We had a glitch in the
but that
matrix.
that's what happens if you're insanely quick. Well, then there's not gonna be a filter. It's a slow
Sometimes it
process.
happens.
Yeah,
Sometimes happens at work a lot. Uh,
at work of all
yeah, yeah,
places.
yeah.
That's
We
crazy.
got no filter there. Um, so okay, so your favorite current member, you said you're gonna go content. You picked Blake. The guy can vibe with it. He's got the perfect fit. He could talk about anything. He can fill the space. And then for
Yep.
your favorite all-time member, you said you would pick a competitive player.
Favorite all time member
You
and
could
gonna
still
go
go with Blake. They've done some
competitively.
tournaments, right?
Okay, I was thinking like
No,
COD,
but
like
yeah, pro
Halo
scene.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I wanted to make a joke, but I don't know the
Hit it.
guy's name though.
Oh.
Is the dude that played for the CS:GO team, the guy that cheated.
Oh.
I forgot his name, but that
When
was
I think of CSGO, I only think of Mixwell and Rush.
yeah.
I can't think of anyone else's.
I forgot his name, but anyways, okay. Ruined joke. Favorite all time Scump. I
The
mean
king.
that dude molded so many people today, and I like what I mean by that is like starting off young, watching Scump, going through all the games with him, going through all the scrims, all the old school. I mean, watching back on it, going to watch like MW3 GBs with a nade shot, going to watch
Dude, it's weird too, real quick, is like depending on when you started watching, if you started watching competitive Call of Duty sometime around MW3 to Black Ops 2, like I guess mostly Black Ops 2, is how much they used to put out content on scrims and stuff like that. Like
for me, I don't know if they've streamed it or have it archived, but I haven't really come across any like scrim content when it comes to like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1,
well, even just like
MW3.
I should say just like competitive content, like whether it was league play, GBs, like they would stream it. Like if you tuned into
Yeah,
their
yeah.
streams back then, they were playing like actual matches. They were
Yeah,
running through the GB like 2Ks and 5Ks.
yeah, they're always grinding. It's like I think I'm pretty sure Hector and Scump said it too. Maybe probably Nate Shot, but like all that crap back then, that was all passion. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're you know becoming a professional gamer back in like 2009. It was a risk because
Yeah. Well,
you're
there's no
playing
money
for
involved.
exactly like I think maybe one of the highest tournaments was like $4,000. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe even back then, like it
Well,
wasn't even that much.
I mean, you had Modern Warfare 3, COD XP was $1 million tournament, which was unheard of at the time. And
Yeah.
then Black Ops 2 had $1 million tournament. But like before then, COD 4, MW2, Black Ops 1, like you're
Yeah,
talking
like
what, like maybe like a $5,000 to $10,000 prize pool where
mhm.
first place only gets $4,000.
And that was the risk, I think, like because going from like MW2 to I know Black Ops 1 was like right after, but then MW3 and I said with COD XP, but like those tournaments before all that stuff, before getting Call of Duty MLG out and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just a gigantic risk. Like 2 years is a long time, to put your mind like because I mean, for example, there's a bunch of people still in high school, and there's like the older people too that are like just graduated, maybe going to college. Um, like it's crazy to sit down and be like, okay, I know I'm still in school, but I'm gonna do this for a living. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna get paid to play this, and like telling your parents that too. It's like whoa, like your parents are like, okay, you're stupid, like you're
Well,
like because it's
especially
so
back
unheard
then,
of.
because like there
Exactly.
weren't
So it's
any
such a
eyes on it. It's like
yeah,
now,
it's
it's
such
like you can
a
tell
gigantic
that.
risk.
Like if you're a kid in high school right now, right, you could tell your parents, like, look, I want to be a professional player. And even if they're like, oh, well, that's stupid, it's like, well, now you have Nade Shot, Ninja. Like you have so many people that
Exactly.
like have done it and you have the proof versus 10 years ago where it's like, name one person that's actually made it off of doing this. And you're like, this guy, he just won $500. And your parents are like,
You
what the
can't
fuck
live
you gonna
off
do with $500?
500.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
like I don't care where you are in the freaking country. You could be in the cheapest cost of living place in this country. 500
Yeah.
bucks ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much proof out there too, not just with big names. Like you can literally go onto Twitch and go to like you can go to like the like Five Nights at Freddy's video game or whatever, and just
Mm-hmm.
scroll down, and literally there'll be people with like 50 viewers, and they'll be like, "Yo, I just got paid like 5,000 this week."
Well,
Like,
I was actually talking to a coworker about this a while back, actually. But
uh,
we were basically just like talking about like how many content creators do you think do content like as their full time gig, right? And I was like, I
mhm.
think it's way more than people realize. And
I think so too.
he's like, no. I was like, no. You only hear about the people that are making, Ninja Courage, like these guys that are on 5,000 subtrains, 2,000
Yeah,
subtrains, where it's like they're pulling in 5 figures a month. And sure, taxes and all that, but it's like those are the only ones you hear about. You want to know how many people you don't hear about that are just making normal income, 2,000
yeah.
to 5,000 a month, depending on, I guess, where you live.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like that's a lot. I'm
I
like,
mean, I think
I
so
told him,
too.
I was like, hey, listen, I was like, how much do you make a month? How much do you need to make a month? Because you're probably making more than you need. I was like,
Hmm.
and then how many people do you think are making that just off of content? And
Yeah,
like, they're not this huge name. Like, you're not hearing about them in the news. They're not signing $30 million deals with Mixer to stream exclusively on their platform. They're just out here grinding, doing it
yeah.
full
They
time,
got the
and it's
community.
enough to cover to where they don't have to do a regular job.
Yeah, and then I mean, like going back to what you were saying with the whole like, you bet it's a lot of people. I think so too, because it's not just like, because right now we're just talking about like streaming. I mean, YouTube too. I mean, all you need like the
There's so many
requirements
different
for.
sources of income.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Patreons. I know this is a kind of bad example, but just think about it innocently. OnlyFans, one of
Yeah,
them that you can make.
there's
I mean,
some
OnlyFans and
stupid
Patreon are like the
money.
same thing. Yeah, for real. And but yeah, YouTube requirements is like you need like 1,000
1,000
subs,
subs, 4,000
and
watch
like
time hours, and
yeah,
your
and then
account
you
has to
start
be 30 days old.
you start getting paid. And I mean, if you already have a big community on Twitch, can you imagine on YouTube? And then like, so you get paid from YouTube, maybe I can't even talk. Sorry, you'll be getting paid from Twitch. If you have a Patreon or OnlyFans, you'll get paid doing that type of stuff. So it's like
If you have any sort of paid content, sponsored content with a
exactly,
company,
yeah.
like sure
Um,
those are usually like one-off deals, but
mhm.
sometimes they could be a large amount. You might get or even if you're not getting money off of that, like, okay, if say Elgato sends me this microphone, maybe they're not paying me, but I just saved almost $200.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
and just stuff like that. Like, hey, I need you to do a review video on this. Even if you don't make any money from the company itself, well, now you have an opportunity to make money off of the view revenue. And also you saved money by not having to buy whatever product. And some of these
Yeah.
things are pretty expensive.
Hmm.
Especially
Yeah.
if you're rolling like any sort of XLR, like mirrorless cameras type stuff, like that stuff can get pricey real quick.
Yeah. And it's just like
I'd say the only
insane how
issue
much
that
you
you
can
would run
save.
into is the timing of payouts. Because I know that some of these companies like take a few months to pay out.
Yeah.
That'd be like probably the only issue.
And yeah, like it's going back to what I was saying too, like the whole risk factor in it. I think it still applies here with Twitch and YouTube and all that stuff. So you kind of have to rely more on your main income, which would if you're a full-time streamer, full-time content creator, your main income would be YouTube and Twitch and all that stuff. So you got to rely more on that, which I think it's shaky a little bit because I mean you don't get paid on a certain date, do you? At least I don't think so.
Well, that's what I mean. Like when it comes to the payout timing, is like
Yeah, yeah,
some of these, specifically Twitch and YouTube, I'm pretty sure like notorious about taking a long time to pay out. Because the cutoff on Twitch is if you're a Twitch affiliate, if you make over $100, then you
yeah.
get paid. You have
I
to
was gonna
make over
mention that
$100
too.
in a 30-day window. But
Hmm.
say you do that, you might not actually see that $100 for another 2 or 3 months
Yeah,
because they're notoriously slow at actually rolling that money out.
I actually
So
didn't know that. This is news to me. So
yeah, but like if you're an
Twitch better bring me my
affiliate,
money in a week.
this is what's trippy with affiliate status is like, say between all your subs and donate, well, I guess donations are a little different, but like between subs, say you make $80 as an affiliate, you don't get any of that.
Yeah.
That all goes to Twitch. You need to surpass $100, and then of that, as an affiliate, you only get 50%.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. As a
Heartbroken,
partner, as a Twitch partner, you get 70%. They get 30. So really, in order to make $100 off Twitch, as an affiliate, you need to make $200.
Yeah.
Which for
You
you is
need
100
2 payouts.
to get paid out. Yeah. So if
Yeah.
all your subs and everything add up to $150, then you cut the 50% out, and now Twitch is getting 100% of it. It's real shaky. Like
Yeah.
there's risk factor. That being said, I'm not saying people shouldn't pursue it. And I think given what you're really risking, and Harris Heller mentioned this in a video. I don't know if you watch Harris or Alpha Gaming at all, but he mentioned this on, I think it was in a video where it's like a lot of it comes down to kind of your lifestyle, and like it's like, okay, if you've got a kid, if you have other people relying on you,
Mhm.
you can't make that risk,
Yeah, exactly.
or it becomes a lot riskier. But it's
Mhm.
like if it's just you, why not?
What do you got to lose,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you could always just go get another job. You can always go back to school. Like in that regard, especially for kids like in high school and stuff, which is, I guess, kind of like my target audience.
Mhm.
Like I want to eventually be that guy that, like, if you're sophomore through senior in high school, like this is your inspiration. The same way that Hutch was for us and Hexen. These guys is like, if you're in that situation, why not grind? What's the fucking worst that can happen?
Yeah. And especially being like,
the worst that can happen is you end up like 90% of regular people outside of high school, or you just go get a minimum wage job for a couple years and then slowly move your way around the workforce.
Yeah.
Like that's what I did. I never went to college or anything. That's just how life goes.
Yeah.
And I was making videos back then. I think about it frequently. My first video I ever posted on YouTube was from 2011.
Oh.
Given the amount of creators and viewership and like that ratio, I think about this all the time. I don't think it's possible for me to have posted videos consistently from 2011 to now and not have made it into a full-time thing. Even if my videos were mediocre, I think because there weren't that many people making videos back then, and now with the amount of eyes that have accumulated over the last 10 years, I'm like, dude, there's no way that I wouldn't be doing this full-time.
Yeah, it's the whole growth factor too. I mean, you start off like, for example, let's say I start my YouTube channel like today. Maybe I get like 10 subs, right? But I keep uploading consistently. And then, I mean, that just grows and grows and grows. Another thing too is like where you stream. Honestly, I think if you're just starting off on YouTube, I think you should start like streaming on YouTube, and then grow that. With it's not the best place to stream, but the rare chance that somebody will stumble across your stream, maybe it's like the same. Maybe they just finished watching some gameplay of like COD, and they see you playing COD. It's like, oh shoot, let me hop into this real quick. Or maybe they just completely forget that like they have the little auto video like coming up next, and it's your stream. Like, maybe something will happen with that. And then, keep uploading consistently. The subs will come rolling in. And the next thing you know, you went from 10 subs to maybe like 150. And then from there, you probably went from
on
that,
top of that,
to like 300.
We love sharing things, right? So like, I mean, okay, if you're fucking anybody, right? You got a TikTok. How often do you share a TikTok to your friend? Probably at least like 5 a day for a lot of people. Oh, your webcam froze. Oh, nope, it's catching up. All right. All right. Same thing with YouTube. Sure, it doesn't get shared as much because it's longer form content, but it's like outside of people just discovering your stuff through the algorithm and recommended and autoplay and stuff like that. Like, okay, if you have 10 subs, how many of them are telling their friends, hey, check out this guy? And then maybe each of those 10 tells 10 people, and maybe only one of those 10 people they told comes in, but then they do the same thing. Like,
it's a big gamble. You're just rolling the dice all the time.
Exponential though.
Yeah.
Like between all the different factors, like, and I mean, if you put out 10 videos versus 100 videos, like you're gonna have a lot higher chances of one of those 100 videos popping off than one of only 10 videos popping off.
Yeah.
It's the clay pot experiment. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Not too familiar.
Basically,
first time I'm hearing it.
It's like an art professor, someone, or like, pottery. And he splits the class into 2 groups. He said, okay, group A, your job is to make the most perfect pot that you can in the next 30 days. All right, group B, your job is to make as many pots as you can in the next 30 days. At the end of the experiment, who has the best pot? The team that made as many as they could. It's not the team that focused on making a perfect one and maybe that took them 3 tries to make as perfect one as possible. It's the guys that made 1,000 of them, but they refined it. They got all those reps in. And at the end of it's like by getting so many reps in, like you just learn all the flaws as fast as possible. So you stop making those mistakes. At the end of it, you designed a better pot because you figured out all the ways not to make one.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah. Quantity over quality leads to quality.
It's true.
There's some old wisdom up in here somewhere. We don't always drop it. This is becoming a lot more of an informative podcast than the last episode.
Uncle Iro over
here. Hey. All right, so let me go back to my list of some questions.
All righty.
There's actually only a few left because, I mean, do you want to talk about the event one? Like last time I said, have you ever been to an event? You said no. I said if you could ever go to an event, what one would you want to go to? All right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Correct, right? You said you've never been to an event.
Yeah, never been to an event.
So if you could just pick one. And I
If I
guess it
could pick
doesn't have to be Call of
one,
Duty. Like I asked this to someone, and I think they brought up. I think they said a Halo event.
a Halo event. I mean,
Eh.
dang, dude.
So
Halo
just
events
any
go
event.
off too. Any event. I'm gonna be basic again. I'm just gonna go with champs. Because damn, dude, there's so many. Because I'm thinking
It's
about it now,
tough.
because I know like champs is a big
I
one.
would say I always want to say champs, but like
Yeah, I know it's a big one, but I mean, trying to remember different like events. I mean, it's popping in my YouTube recommended, like YouTube. What am I saying? Optic versus FaZe. They played. I think Embos was on FaZe at the time. This was Black Ops 2.
I was gonna say, was
Like
it the AW one?
no, yeah, it was Black Ops 2. But I mean, still, like, there's just so many events too that just you go to, and I mean, honestly, I feel like I would go there more for the crowd, like just that experience, like being a part of the crowd.
Yes.
Just everyone's all hyped. The whole family aspect of it kicks in. But I mean, I'm gonna have to go with champs on this
Okay.
one.
See,
I mean, that's just
so as far as
crazy,
like the
the
crowd
environment.
thing goes, so I've got everything booked to go to champs next month. And I'm thinking about it, and I haven't really followed competitive too much this year. Like Cold War's just not that game for me. And Modern Warfare kind of wasn't last year. Like Call of Duty just does not hold my interest as much. Like for the most part, I watch these people for themselves and not so much for the competition these days. And I'm like, as much as I can't wait to fucking watch LAN because it is incredible, the thing I'm looking forward to more is the people in like seeing people that have been on the podcast, seeing people. I want to do some on-site podcasting. I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. But like seeing people I know off of Twitter, like meeting new people, like that is the best part of events.
Yeah,
It's not watching Call of Duty.
Yeah, no, but I think it's true. I think now is the perfect time to start meeting people. I mean, it could be a little controversial with COVID and all that stuff, but like with everything going back to the way it was, or at least easing into it,
Yeah,
it's like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in so
that
long,
too.
or meeting those
Well, it's going
people,
to be even
re-meeting those
trippier
people.
because I feel like that already existed because you only ever, how many people actually were able to go to like every LAN event?
Yeah,
Probably not that many, but like how many people were able to go to 2 or 3 a year? And it's like they would regularly see people, but only every 3 months. But it's like now it's like you haven't had any lanes to go to. So it's like you already kind of had like, oh man, I haven't seen you in 3 months. Now you're going to have, I haven't seen you in 2 fucking years.
in almost 2 years.
Like, I haven't seen you since COD Champs 2019. Like that is going to be so,
it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, like it's going to push things to levels that they would have never been to.
Yeah,
One of the few things to come, one of the few good things to come out of the pandemic and COVID and everything is going to be community.
The green wall reunited.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy. Can't wait for this next process.
Well, I mean, so the last LAN event that the green wall was properly united was 2019 champs. And then if you want to count like maybe the rocker event opening up like the Huntsman, but like it was a different green wall. It was a different shade of green. So it's like it really will be, and it'll be weird for me too. Like going to champs, like the last event I went to was champs.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be honestly talking about the whole Huntsman green wall. I think, yeah, I feel like it was it was great, to be there, but it's just gonna be so different because I mean you weren't able to wear your Optic gear. You weren't able to wear that vintage jersey that you had.
My Optic gear went to the other side of the closet. Like I'm really the way my closet's organized, like it's kind of OCD. It's like it's color coordinated and also categorized by like, and I mean the place I'm in now, I have the office room has its own closet because it's technically a bedroom. So all my like esports gaming merch and everything's just in this closet, and it literally goes like individual people's merch like Scump and Syndicate, and I've got like one Dr. Disrespect shirt, and then I have collaboration merch between like Create Supply, Rich and Lonely collabs, Hex Quarters collabs, and then I have Optic gear. I have TSC gear and then Optic gear, but it's like during the whole Huntsman thing, all my Optic stuff, I moved it to the back.
Yeah,
Am I good?
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you moved it to the back because they became huntsmen, and now being able to, grab that cluster of clothes and being
Oh
able to
yeah,
put that right in the main stage of your closet, like,
yeah. Like
and then
now it's
being
at the
able,
front. Like,
yeah, and then exactly. So, you going to champs, like being able to grab, like I was saying, that vintage jersey
oh,
or maybe that scump
I
jersey.
think I'm gonna wear the
Uh,
2014.
well, there you go. Like, it's going to be such a different environment from being Chicago Huntsmen because
Yeah,
all these jerseys were new, or maybe you wore your Optic jersey, um, what do you call it, as like your first layer, and then you wore a Huntsman jersey or something like that.
yeah.
But I mean, the environment's gonna be different because it's Optic now, and then I think it's gonna be crazily different from champs back in BO4 too, because
What's a
I mean,
different,
they were always Optic, but now it's like, oh my god, we were Huntsmen, and now we're back to being Optic, which is gonna be,
dude? It's gonna
like,
be so.
it's gonna be
I
nuts.
I will buy if there's the VIP option. I don't give a fuck how much debt it puts me into, but when there's an Optic opening event,
Uh-huh.
right? Because we had the Huntsman opening event was supposed to be scheduled. I was supposed to go to that. And then
Mhm.
COVID happened, so no lands. And then we get
Yeah.
Optic back, but there's still no lands. So technically the only Optic opener we had was Optic LA. Like the first proper Optic Chicago opening event at LAN. I'm getting VIP tickets for that motherfucker. I'm flying. I mean, I'm not going to fly first class. Everything event related at the venue, I'm going
Yeah.
in on because that is going to be so hype.
Dude, if I
Like,
can, I'll totally do the same thing. I'll meet you there.
dude, I'll rent out a whole fucking hotel. I don't care. But the whole green wall is going to band together and we're going to rent not just a room or two, the whole motherfucking tower.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be,
Chicago is gonna be nuts.
yeah. I think about this event. So, the Markiplier thing where it's like, this right here is my favorite thing.
Oh yeah.
I stay
Yeah.
awake at night, not sleeping because I'm thinking about this.
It's the
It's the
homestand.
Optic opener homestand,
Yeah.
the proper homestand. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, dude, that's something.
I think
to
champs will
keep
be
you up at night.
a good tease of what's to come.
Oh yeah.
Because let's face it, there's very few teams in the league with a fan base that competes with Optic as far as size.
Mm-hmm.
Like FaZe is going to be nuts, especially with how good of a couple years they've had. FaZe is already huge. On top of that, they've had probably the best team in the actual league since the league is formed. FaZe is sure Empire won champs last year. I think that FaZe is the best franchise in the league so far. Like they're Simp and Abizi sound like they're insane.
Do you think?
Wait a minute, who was
their
their fourth during Modern Warfare?
FaZe?
Yeah, it wasn't Arcides.
Sympabeezy, Major Maniac.
Was it Maniac? Sympabeezy,
yeah, Major
Celium.
Yeah, Sympabeezy, Celium, Major Maniac, and then I don't know the other guy. I think actually, hold up. I think he plays for Rocker. No, it wasn't Pristine. Pristine was on Huntsman for Mutineers than Huntsman. Because hold on, Rocker's playing right now. It's Priesta, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I always get Pristine and Priesta mixed up. It was Priesta.
Priesta.
That's still a nasty roster, but with Alec.
Yeah. Arcides.
It's
what do you
really
call it? Do you think Hex sabotaged? Hex sabotaged the league by giving Arcides to FaZe?
If anything, he made for one hell of a storyline, as he always does.
Yeah.
I mean, FaZe.
Talking about it.
I wonder how like salary cap and everything goes into it when it comes to the league versus just the organization. Like, how do you keep that balanced when you have a team like, the Atlanta FaZe that are the Call of Duty League spot, but they're part of FaZe Clan, which is, FaZe Clan, if they wanted to, could afford any roster they want to.
Yeah.
But like, I wonder how they like limit that, because when you have new teams coming in, like the Surge, like, how are you going to fucking keep that financially balanced?
Yeah. That's true. I never thought of it because
it's the first time I've thought of it. I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
in
that
my head, right.
phase Optic, like teams that have already been so established for so long, like
Yeah, and then you bring up the
they just
Surge
get
and they have $50 in their bank account.
it's like brand new teams. Like, sure, they paid the
Yeah,
25 million for the franchise spot, but like, are they limited to
the
use
league
that
has to put a cap
25
on
million
something.
to like organize their rosters? Like, there's
Yeah, that
got to
is
be some
crazy.
rules in place.
Speaking of rosters and stuff, new team, an Australian team maybe. I forgot their name, Predators or something like that. Have you heard of that?
Challengers team or
No, like an actual new Australian league team
oh,
that they're in the talks about it. I forgot who
like so
put
like
it.
one
I
of the
think
organizations might be selling a spot, or are they adding
they're
more league
adding
spots?
another. Yeah, they're adding another league spot, and it's going to be an Australian team. And there's a group out there,
Huh.
Predators, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can pop this in. Predators CDL team. Okay, maybe not. I can't find it. No, but yeah, there is a this is like an Australian organization, and they're in the talks of
Well, I know that that's been one of the
going
big
down there.
concerns since switching to a league is at what point are they going to start adding more league spots? Because there's only 12 teams now. At
Mhm.
what point are they going to bump that up to 16? And I think if I'm the league, I'm not bumping it to 16 next year
Yeah.
because one, Vanguard might kind of flop. If Vanguard flops, you might have some older players like Scum thinking about retiring, people
Yeah.
that are carrying your viewership. And two, because of COVID and the fact that so much competition has been online or without LAN events or without fan, spectator events, like the way that it affects viewership and everything, I feel like it'd be too big of a risk to add those new teams now
Yeah.
versus wait another year. Vanguard, maybe it's good, which I don't think it will be. But if it's at least decent, but you are able to bring back LAN events with spectators, like that might help peak viewership and income with, on-site merchandise and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then the following year, maybe you can afford to branch out. Competition-wise, I think that we could do it now. There's so many talented players. How many people have we seen come up from challengers and stuff?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I think
Not
the
even that,
talent
but
pool, we went from
yeah.
32 teams to 12.
Yeah.
Like, how many former pro players are now just top amateurs? Like,
No Doug, no Dub.
yeah. I like Doug.
Mhm.
I met him at
No,
Champs 2019, and he's a genuine dude.
yeah.
I used to
What
be kind of on the fence about him because,
Mhm.
understandably so, I feel like
Yeah.
every year's his
I'm
year till it ain't.
I'm so like I love Censor.
Yeah.
But, okay, if I'm gonna get real about Censor, I don't want to talk mad crap, but let's just say he's good where he's at.
Yeah.
like,
I
I
think
don't know.
so.
I'd
Like,
love to see him on the
if this
come
was
up
like
though.
basketball, right?
Mhm.
Doug to me is like a really good six man. Like he's six man of the.
Six man with if he's gonna be on six man, that man better get reps in. That man better, I think I want
But
to say
like
he
to
can be
me,
so much better.
I don't know.
I think he
He's
can be
solid though
insanely
too.
better. Yeah,
And
he is,
the
but
other
I
thing that
mean,
I have to consider with him
mhm.
is the amount of outside of game stuff that he does. His whole fitness thing,
That's true.
content, like there's literally only ever been one player that has competed at the top and been able to do that much shit on the side, and that's Scump.
Yeah,
Every other player that has tried to do stuff more than competing has seen their competition, suffer from it, or they've seen their content suffer so that their competition can stay at the top.
yeah,
So that's like the one thing I had to remind. I'm like, dude, Censor is like the only other dude that has actually grinded out content to this level. And I
yeah.
think more and more people are doing it. Like Octane's a good example. But we're also at the point now where like a lot of these guys aren't editing their own content. They're just hiring people to do 89% of the work for them.
Yeah. About censor too, with the whole content thing. Like I 100% get that, but if we're talking strictly COD, I mean, you can't use that as an excuse.
I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's just like an understanding.
Yeah,
because I think he could be much more. I just don't think he could be that much more and continue to do all the other shit on the side.
Okay, yeah. No,
I think if he stopped doing everything on the side and he put his mindset entirely into competing, then yeah, I think he could be a starter on some rosters.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, one big one could be Surge. I wouldn't say Florida. Paris, he can.
Florida's a weird one. Florida's a fucking dude. They've had a weird couple years. Yeah, I feel like somehow they're dog shit, but they win when it matters.
Yeah, I was watching what do you call it? I was watching another podcast with Lottie, and I'm sorry, I totally forgot the other guy's name, but they have this other podcast, and they were just talking about it. That it's like you were saying, Florida is extremely weird. That it's just like they're winning against Empire, but then they're losing against Paris. Like what?
Yeah. It's like and Rocker was kind of like that last year, not as like far out on the spectrum. Like they were a little more consistent. Yeah. But it's like, dude, Rocker. How many times did Rocker beat FaZe last year? Like an okay amount.
Yeah.
Like they were the one team that at the beginning of the first few events and stuff, like they were like the one team that could somehow control the FaZe's fast pace.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know how they were doing it. Like Rocker's not this insane roster, and they weren't able to do it with any other team, but somehow they could control FaZe, which is steamrolling people.
Yeah, I just think with all the rosters from last year, it's so different from this year.
It's also it's different game too, like Cold War's pacing.
Different game, drastically different roster. I think for some of them, like one player can, I think, absolutely just change everything. For example, FaZe, going from 5v5 to 4v4, and they dropped Maniac and Priesta, and they brought Alec, and they got Tiny Terror, Celium, and.
I don't know. I think we talked about this last time, but we talked about like Jetpack versus Boost on the ground, right?
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so not to bring that back up, but 5v5 or 4v4?
5v5 or 4v4? 4v4.
Okay, good.
I think 4v4 is because I'm thinking about Black Ops 3 right now because that's when I got into League or Arena mode at the time. I mean, yeah, thinking about it now. Thinking about BO3 and then thinking about Cold War, and I guess all my knowledge from watching VODs from other people, it's very structured. It's very like
I feel like having the extra 2 players on the map just fucks things up just enough.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And then finally playing on the college level with MW is just crazy. It was just everybody was already tack sprinting to the point, and then it's just loud gunfights.
I feel like it messes with spawns too much.
Yeah, the spawn. I mean, spawns was a big thing. Then okay,
well, like not just spawns, but like it messes with spawns because of like double kill, triple kill. Like yeah,
that too.
It's like because you can't get that last guy down. Now spawns are messed up because of just that one extra guy.
Yeah, I think Black Ops 4 5v5 was cool though. I don't know. That's just my take on that. Like I don't think it was as bad.
I don't think it was as bad.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think the game was designed better for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think so too. Because I mean, Treyarch's main focus was multiplayer.
Yeah.
They, didn't have campaign. They just made it an online thing. Hey, go play multiplayer. Go play zombies.
Now let me ask this, right? How do you feel about Control as a game mode?
I like it. I mean, I don't mind it. It's just like you just have to have the knowledge to. Whatever map you're playing on, find those angles.
I mostly hate it.
Mostly hate it, yeah.
Yeah. When they first introduced it in Black Ops 4, to me, it was just like, it felt like TDM with spawn trapping, played at a pro level. And to be fair, so did Domination. Domination had the same issue, where it's like, you just held the right angles, you could spawn trap, and it's like, but because Control had a life count on it, I feel like it made it a little bit worse
Yeah.
because it's like
No, I get that.
it's like in domination, at least you could break out of the spawn because you had limited lives. You just had like
Yeah.
a little bit more time to try and fix shit, and like it wasn't much better. Probably chances were by the time you broke out of the spawn trap, you were already in such a deficit anyway. You weren't going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. Adam Apicella at one point we were tweeting back and forth, and he was like, "Hardpoint and S&D. I don't know why you need a third game mode." Like you know
I
what?
remember seeing that. Yeah.
At this point, yeah. Since we
I don't
can't
know.
figure out a good third game mode, because I don't
Yeah.
domination. I think everybody hates. I think people would rather have control than domination. I think they're equally shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of CTF. I would take Blitz at this point from Ghosts. I think CTF, even though it has the same spawn trap problem as control and domination, I think because there's a flag that actually moves, like they're not set points on the map, I think that's like the one thing that makes it a little bit better.
Yeah. I think there should be a third game mode. You know,
I think there should be. I don't know what the fuck it would be though.
Exactly.
I vote
but
CTF. I'm sure there's a better option, and most people would disagree with me.
Yeah, the thing about this third game mode though is it's like it's the turning point. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're about to get 3-0'd, you have that wild card game mode. You know, it can go both ways. You know, the person that's the team that's about to lose. You know, they can maybe not get shut down immediately because you know, hey, I'm playing uplink, or hey, I'm playing control. This is the map.
Okay, I would fucking say uplink over, as far as like a CTF, you know, type game mode. Uplink, Blitz, CTF, I feel like are all kind of the same.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, totally.
Playing it, uplink wasn't stellar, but watching it, that is the most fun game mode to watch in COD history.
Yeah, I think.
Dude,
I mean,
uplink,
that's just the whole jetpack COD thing. But I mean, for World War II, because World War II had uplink.
They had.
I don't think was it called uplink?
No, it was like Gridiron, I think.
Gridiron, there you go.
Basically,
like it's the same
football.
thing as it's football.
Yeah, it was boots on the ground uplink. Executed poorly.
Yeah, just bring capture the flag. Like at that point, you know, you don't need uplink and.
Yeah, I remember trying to play Gridiron, and I was like, yeah, this is dog shit.
Yeah, if it's a jetpack COD, I think uplink should be the third game mode, and then if it's
what about I wonder like how Oddball would feel in COD. I'm just trying to think of like other games, specifically Halo's. Halo, I think, is the only other FPS game that has had respawn game modes.
I think Oddball as a third game mode, or just in COD.
I don't know how that would work in COD though, because of like power weapons and overshields and stuff like that. Like
exactly
time to kill. Honestly, I don't know if it would.
Honestly, don't think it would work because it's just
think
like
it would either.
Hey, like okay, so you pick up the ball or whatever, the skull in COD. I mean, you just get sniped from across the map. It's like, what's the point? There'll just be people looking right down there. There'll be, for example, if this was like an MW or with, you know, if this was an MW 2019, there'll be people with the PKM right around the corner just waiting to gun you down.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be very lopsided if a team managed to get a ball out.
I feel like
they go to like their spawn.
Yeah, I'm saying I feel like because of like map positioning, you would find a spot on the map where it's like, if you can hold it with the right angles, that guy can just chill out and get time.
Yeah, and then with Halo, you know, it's very basic, but like in a good way. There's the whole shield stuff, you know. There's power ups on the ground.
Halo's also the only game to successfully pull off TDM as a professional game mode.
Yeah.
And it's because of power weapons, power ups, time to kill.
Yeah.
Time of, you know, those power ups and power weapons dropping. Like it made it to where you couldn't camp. Like you actually had to rotate the map, even though there was no objective. You knew that you had to rotate the map to get control of a power up or power weapon.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's a big part of it too, because I mean you're not going into Halo spawning in with I guess excluding Halo
with a class of choice.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you can't run in with this certain perk, or you can't run in with I
feel like in order for COD to pull it off, they would literally have to change Call of Duty.
They'd have to dumb it
Halo.
down.
Like they would have to introduce power weapons, and they would have
armor for everybody,
or only the armor for everybody except for the guy with the oddball. Maybe.
I'd say armor for armor
For
for the
only the
person
oddball guy?
the oddball. Yeah, maybe it might work then.
I don't
and there.
know. I don't know.
It could.
I don't know what the third game mode would be. I just think control's not it.
I like I said, if it's jetpacks, I'd rather take uplink. If it's not, then let's just go capture the flag.
Oddly enough, control. If it's like good games like Optic versus Faye, like top tier teams, I do like watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not literally like the top 3 teams playing against each other, then it really does just feel like spawn trapping.
Yeah.
Like if
what
you
was
get
the fastest control round in CDL? It was like LA Thieves versus. This was like maybe 3-4 weeks ago, I think.
I think it was the Thieves versus someone.
It was on Raid,
and it was just like
went by in like a
they just wiped through the life count so fast.
Not even life count. They just got the time.
Or
they
got the offense. Yeah.
Just went by so fast.
Like, I don't know. All right, let's try to wrap this up a little bit. Let's fly through some of these questions. Right. We asked this last time. We'll ask it again. If you could join Optic or be involved in Optic in any way, content creator, camera guy, behind the scenes guy, graphic designer, whatever, what would you want to do and why?
Content creator, but not just like a standalone content creator. I'd love to be a content creator like on the main YouTube channel, or I'd like to do that. I think it'd be super cool to be a part of like behind the scenes type stuff. For example, like another Hitch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hitch was doing content. Hitch was also behind the scenes. I think that'd be super cool because I mean, I'm real into like the cinematic type stuff behind. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to be a content creator for them. I'd love to be, I'd love to do something like TST. I'd love to, just explore that area, especially with Optic. That'd be super cool.
I'm going to ask you another question in regards to that answer. If you can't come up with a quick response, then we'll just drop it. But like, so if you were a content creator on the main channel, obviously right now tier lists are in, reaction videos, that sort of stuff, trivia. Like, do you have a content idea that you would like to see done that like nobody's doing?
I mean, that could honestly be anything because it's like what you're saying. A bunch of stuff is in right now. So if you want to see something new, like just think of literally anything that's not that, and then if Optic were to do that, it would bring that up.
Did you see the Reddit post the other day? Someone was like, I would love to see a content series where you basically have like an hour to play league play. Like you take the pro team and you each give them an hour to play league play, and they have to find a teammate and then 2v2. So it's like Scump has to jump into league play. He has an hour to find a teammate, recruit him. Envoy's doing the same thing. And then you have Scump with the random guy that he picked and Envoy with the random guy that he picked, and you do 2v2s.
That'd be super cool.
It was like, yeah, that. And then at the end of the hour, you basically have your teams and you work it into like a bracket style.
Yeah, that'd be.
I was like, dude, that's a badass idea.
Yeah.
But it's hard, I feel like, to think of ideas like that are like, because like you could pick anything that's not trending right now and it'll be new and different, but is it actually going to make for good content, or is it just going to be new and different?
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm not going to be original here, but something that would be insanely entertaining, and it was entertaining, was the smooth competitions.
That's like kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like I'd bring back.
Yeah, absolutely bring back,
especially with COVID ending, or going back to normal, whatever.
Like, I mean, still though, even when there wasn't COVID, they were already still as a group. Like,
well, I feel like it would be anybody bigger and better now because of the pandemic. Absolutely. It's like the whole community thing. Like now that you're able to engage more openly and freely again, it would be bigger than it would have been.
Yeah, and now, exactly what you're saying. But yeah, if I can come up with something, I guess it's not really come up with, but more of bring back, and then
revisit
with the whole. And like with them getting back into it with Roger, Maddie, and Josefo, getting back into it. The quality of this content, I think, would be.
Here we go. Okay, so if we're gonna like bring something back, I would bring back, but I would make it just within Optic. They could totally fucking do this too. What was the show called with can't think of the guy's name right now. FPS Kyle. FPS Russia.
Mm-hmm.
They put out a show. It was freaking FPS Russia. They had Hex, Temper was on there, but they had like actual military guys as well. What the hell was the name of that show?
Not too sure.
It's old school. It was like 2011 or something. It might have been just called The Competition.
The Controller.
The Controller, yeah.
That was posted on Optic 8 years ago. The Controller with Jaws, Hex, and Temper.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it, dude, I'd recommend it. They could totally pull this off, but just keep it within just Optic.
Yeah. This was that video is with Machinima. You can see the little watermark on the bottom left. That's crazy. Dude, old school.
That series was badass. They basically were like just real life, almost like military training exercises and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But it was like a gamer paired up with someone that was actually in that field, like military personnel. And they ran through essentially military training exercises, scaled down.
That's cool.
And like real guns, and this was back when like FPS Russia ran YouTube.
Yeah.
Bro, you search FPS Russia, every one of his videos has over 1 million views. That guy fucking ran YouTube popular for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being in like 3rd grade and my friend would just come up to me and be like, yo, let's watch this FPS Russia thing.
And FPS Russia, like, today we have AA-12 shotgun. This fully automatic shotgun. You bump this thing in 55-gallon drum. Look at it. Perfectly waterproof. Now let's go kill some watermelon people.
That's fucking hell. Watermelon people. I remember that. God dang.
FPS Russia throwback. There you go, folks. You heard it here. Go watch some FPS Russia. Show him some love. Pretty sure that guy went to prison.
Yeah, he did. I searched up FPS Russia Hex, and there's literally a video.
I'm pretty sure he's out now.
Yeah, he's out.
Like, he got out a couple years ago, but like...
Yeah. I don't know the reason why he went to prison.
I don't know why either.
I think it was because he just owned a bunch of illegal shit.
Because he was just blowing shit up every weekend in Georgia. Yeah, I think it was in Georgia. It was like his family's ranch or something. It's like they had the land and everything.
It took the authorities a while to be like, yo, this guy's popular, but
hey, this guy's a potential like domestic terrorist.
Yeah. Why have we been trusting this guy?
Why does he own a tank? And why are 3 million people watching him drive a tank?
I know, right? They go to the barn or whatever, and they open it up. It's
just World War II. It just looks like World War II Nazi freaking shed. Like,
yeah.
We have a German tank.
I know cops are talking to him, and he's still with the Russian accent and everything.
Whoa, guys, chill out. I'm American.
I know, yeah. The camera's filming the cops and everything too.
God. Trying to who's the Dr. Disrespect's camera guy? Doesn't know when to shut the thing off. All right. So you'd be a content creator for Optic. You would bring back smooth comp or something of the like. Top 3 favorite moments in Optic history. You know the drill. It could be competitive moments, content moments, vlog moments, whatever.
All right. Damn. Low key. I gotta remember everything from last week. I know one of them was champs, because I mean that's crazy.
Iconic.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even need to see the video. You look at pictures of the dynasty with Hex like in the back holding the check, and it's just like the way that picture was edited was already so legendary. Like,
one of my favorite moments, and it makes me miss Courage as a caster, is just Courage's whole. Ladies and gentlemen, like, they've done it. This is the greatest Call of Duty roster. Like, his whole speech right there. Courage is freaking.
Courage can do it all.
He's got a good voice and like the right energy for it.
Yeah, if we can bring back Courage for champs, imagine.
I would. There's so many good casting duos.
Mm-hmm.
Courage and Maven and Merc, Fwiz and Puckett. Fwiz and Puckett. I'd bring back Fwiz and Puckett for champs.
Yeah.
Benson and Golden Boy.
Mm-hmm.
So many good casting duos. Okay, so you got 2017 champs.
2017
champs. It was a top 3 moment.
I remember I said this last week. I just because it's hilarious. I think it's fucking hilarious. One in Maniac's vlogs.
Oh yeah,
is with
what was
Scump.
this one?
Do you know what I'm talking about? Look, man. Okay.
Which one was it again though? It was
it. Hold up. I have to just get this off real quick. Scump. Okay, so in one of Maniac's vlogs, Scump or Maniac just keeps vlogging Scump, and like Scump is wearing like this purple.
Oh, that's right. It
he's
was his
wearing this purple
outfit.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was his outfit, but he
'Cause
just
I
like
remember I mentioned the Banana Man.
yeah, and this bit he just keeps going like he keeps saying what, and then Maniac puts like this music in the back. Look, I'll send you the link of the video so maybe you understand
Send me the
what it
link,
is.
and then I might throw it in the description as well.
Yeah, and it's just I don't know because Maniac keeps putting the camera up in Scump's face, and Scump is just like, "What?" Wait, I think I landed on it actually. I did. I have it pulled up right here. But yeah, Maniac's just like panning the camera up to Scump, and then there's like some orchestra playing in the back, like orchestral music that Maniac found, and Scump's just like, "What?" It's like, "What?" Like he just keeps on saying it for like 2 minutes, and it's the funniest shit ever.
Dude, that's
to me at least. I think that's so funny.
Maniac has been mentioned more times than I would have expected in different segments of the podcast with different guests. Guy's got a bigger fan base.
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
now with the Sobniak.
Sobniak, yeah.
By the way, anyone
Maniac.
watching this, make sure you guys go over to Maniac Plays. He recently launched a gaming channel, so make sure you guys go subscribe to that if you are fans of Maniac himself, because I edit those videos sometimes.
I did not know that actually.
Yeah, just I've edited a couple of his videos. Thank you, Haley, for the opportunity with those. Haley's definitely done the most with that channel, especially with my moving and everything.
Shout outs.
Shout out, Haley.
Okay, and then my third, I do remember my third. It was
I forgot about the Maniac one.
Yeah.
The World War II one. Oh,
yeah, the World War II. Who was it? No, it was Scump. Yeah, Scump was diffusing on World
Karma.
War II. The I can ride a bike moment. It's with it's Dynasty, right? It's Crim Karma formal.
The Dynasty
Scump.
right before they broke up.
Yeah, and they were playing a scrim. Scump plants the bomb, and he just runs. They're playing World War II on Gibraltar. He runs to, I don't know what spawn it is, but there's a bike, and he goes prone right near the bike, and he's like, "Hey, Crim, I could ride a bike." He's like, "I'll be back." And then Karma's like freaking out. He's like, "Yo, this guy's gonna defuse
Go check it. And you got Matt in the background.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Karma's like, "Bro, he's gonna defuse," and Formal's like, "Nah, Halo kids don't defuse." And they wait like 20 seconds. The
confidence that Matt had in it too is what gets me every time.
The last 10 seconds of the detonation. Karma's like, "Dude, he's going to hop it," and Formal's like, "No, he's not. He's not."
Halo kids don't defuse.
Yeah, and then it blows up. Scump comes back onto his webcam, and he's like, "Hey, did we win?" And they win like 6-0. I love it.
The calm confidence where Matt's just like, Halo kids don't defuse. It's like Karma, who is one of the greatest minds in Call of Duty, is probably thinking about so many different things, and is like, "Bro, you gotta go check it. Like, you gotta go check it."
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking Search and Destroy. You gotta go check it, dude. He's gonna defuse it. Halo kids don't defuse.
They don't defuse, yeah. The Formal's probably on Twitter at that time, just looking at his phone like, they don't defuse. They don't.
Yeah, like they're probably all just chilling. Karma, I imagine, is the only one. I imagine Crim is frustrated. Just silently, like, angry, like, "You fucking idiots." Yeah. And Karma is just freaking out. Scump's AFK. And Formal's just like,
no. Yeah, he's just,
what's on the timeline right now?
Yeah, that's just so funny.
Okay, so there's your top three. I'll revisit. I'll do top three. Right. I mentioned Grizz, the Matrix Reloaded montage. It has an Optic intro, so I'm counting it. It's a bit of a cheat cop-out answer, but we're counting it anyway. Grizz actually just started uploading again, too, for the first time in like a year. So he might be back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a fan of old school Call of Duty, the godfather that brought console recording to the masses, go check out Grizz.
Grizz.
You ain't Grizz, baby. What else? So we had that one. We're gonna go with. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. We're gonna go with Dietrich's Rundown Free for All, Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, I don't.
Fastest free for all ever, I believe what it's called.
Christ.
Yeah, this is back in the day. I think Pomage has beaten it, but it's like a minute or something like that. Sniper only.
That's crazy.
Like a minute 18, minute
What,
22.
MW2?
Yeah.
Insane.
Minute. I want to say it's either a minute 18 or a minute 22.
What map was this played on?
Rundown.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to remember that map. It's been forever.
So there's like a canal that runs down the middle of it. There's 3 bridges that go across it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know exactly. Oh man, I miss MW2.
So the video's 3 minutes long. From the first to last kill, it's 2 minutes 13 seconds.
Damn.
Yeah. Dude, 10 years ago, that video has 114,000 views. If you guys don't know who the fuck Dietrich is, by the way, just go watch that video. All right. He's my favorite all-time member of Optic, along with Dietrich or Big Timer and Karma. Yeah. So we had Dietrich's Free for All, we had Zerger is the Matrix Reloaded, and then another top 3 favorite moment in Optic history. We are going to go with
drum roll.
Trying to think of a different one. I think I mentioned this like 1 or 2 episodes ago, but we're going to throw it back for it. Anyways, the shot scene around the world, Big Timer, Black Ops 2 Slums, S&D. Title of the video is The Shot Scene Around the World.
The shot scene around the world.
Yeah. I mostly just like doing throwbacks on these top 3s.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's so many new fans from the Huntsman era and just new fans that came in over the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
So I direct them to the origins. All right. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up in the next 5 minutes because Optic's about to play the Thieves.
All righty, let's do it.
Watch this. All right. So if you can meet one person within Optic, who would it be? And does your answer change if you could hang out with them for a day?
Nope and nope. We already said this. I'm gonna go with Hitch.
Okay, I would say I hope you're keeping it the same.
Yeah. I'm going with Hitch because what do you call it? That dude, like I said before, I'm really into like I guess I can say this too. I'm really into content. I'm really into filming and all that type of stuff. And I mean, Hitch has a lot of experience into doing that. And then with the whole TST setup and everything, he's got the whole mic setup. Pretty sure he's got like a NASA PC in the hex quarters. If I were to hang out with him,
how the fuck they get all 3 webcams?
Exactly, it's crazy. Like I said this in the last time we recorded. Of course, if I were to hang out with him, I wouldn't be there with a notepad writing down notes or whatever. I would, I'd be there to, hang out, whatever. But at the same time, I'd be, mentally taking notes like, okay, so this guy does this. Oh my God, his wired management is insane. Let's see what softwares he uses. Let's see what PC build he had. Like, I'd low-key take all that stuff in. And then, of course, I'm sure he'd be hanging out with TST.
See,
so it's
I would, like, if I wanted to, like, take notes or, like, learn from someone, I would mostly be interested to see what they're doing off stream.
Off stream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's not too much to do on stream. Like,
that's true. This is all content.
It's like you're just talking to the chat, like you're playing your games, you're having a good time, like you're just live interacting. But off stream, like I want to know what people's editing process looks like. I want to know what people's, especially like people that go for clips, right? Like your montage guys, Pomage and a lot of these guys. Like I want to know what their like recording looks like. Because like if I'm trying to go for clips for a montage, like I want to know, do these people record each match that they play? They hit record and stop record at the end of each one? Do they record 10 hours and go find the best moments? Because that's a bitch. Do they just use a flashback recording, which in my experience is janky? Like I want to know what that process looks like. Like lately, like my process,
everybody,
because like a lot of these guys, like how many clips does Pomage hit off stream? So it's like he can't just use clips and stream markers on Twitch. Like, nah, he's recording this shit.
Yeah.
My best process I've figured out is to hit record when the match starts and hit stop record when the match ends. and delete it if nothing special happens.
Yeah. For me, I usually just with I guess what the software is the GeForce, the graphics card thing. I think
See, I have an AMD graphics card. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what GeForce has. I know they have some flashback type stuff.
Yeah, they have like an instant replay thing where you just out Z it and then a little menu pops up and you can just you can set it to how long you want. Mine's 5 minutes because if I have a clip, it's not going to be longer than
yeah.
5
And
minutes.
and sometimes like alternatively, like especially like in Warzone, sometimes it takes 3 minutes for it to be a clip.
Yeah.
Like gunplay and gunfights can actually last a while, versus in regular multiplayer it only takes 3 seconds for you to get a quad.
Yeah.
In Warzone, it might be a 3-minute fight to wipe a squad.
Yeah, for me, really, I think about a certain game, for example, like Warzone, because if I hit a clip on any other game, like it can be whatever. I think about the game that that will take like the longest time, like the longest duration. So, like for example, Warzone, I'll always have my stuff set to maybe 10 minutes then, and then like if I hit a clip on like Splitgate, and let's say it happened to be like 5 seconds, I'll still save the entirety of it, just so I don't have to keep going back and forth for whatever game.
See, so that's like I have my file management set up to where it's like I have a raw folder, or I have a streams folder, and then a raw folder, and within the raw folder I have COD, Apex, Splitgate. Like I have a different folder for every game, and then I just record to the raw folder, and then if it's a Splitgate game, I just drag it. So like that's what I've been doing lately. Is for Splitgate, I've got like 10 plus gameplays that I think are like solid, like 20 and 3s. I've got a 26-0 in there. I've got a 32-1 in there. But it's also hard to determine. Like, I don't know what YouTube worthy gameplay is on Splitgate yet. Such a new and exploding game. Like, if I go like 18-3, I'm like, that's a solid game.
Yeah. What I think right now, whatever you think is like insane gameplay, because Splitgate is on the rise. Whatever
there's no like standards either.
Exactly. So it's like post everything.
Yeah.
Get that shit out,
Yeah, which is my plan. That's what I'm doing after the Optic Thieves match.
Yeah.
So
yeah, with this up and coming game, this rising game, just there is no standard. Make the standard,
Yeah.
Go fucking put that shit out.
All right. So my answer has always been if I can meet somebody, probably big timer. If I can hang out with someone, Hex. I've met Hex before. I just don't think hanging out with big timer for a day would be great. I feel like the man's just sitting there trading stocks for the first 6 hours of his day.
Yeah.
Pretty low key dude. Now if it was like an off day for him, right, where he's not trading, then it would maybe be fun to hang out. But like hanging out with Hex, like Mexican food's my favorite. I know that he's gonna be making some bomb food. All the dogs, I got a couple dogs. Like the pool, the theater room. Bucket list is to watch the movie Snatch with Hex at some point.
Yeah.
If that ever happens in my lifetime, I will die a happy man. So my answer does change with who it is. But that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 11 of the Brick by Brick podcast. Make sure you guys head over, check in the description below. Whether you're listening to it or watching on YouTube, check it out. Go to his links. Give yourself a little shout out. Here's a Hot Ones moment. Where can people find you? What can they expect from you?
Yeah, we're going to make this a little quick here. All right. So youtube.com/c/GCamBigg. Everywhere I am GCamBigg. You can find me on Twitter, find me on Instagram.
2 G's, BIGG.
Yeah, BIGG. My bad. Thank you for
good.
that. So yeah, you can find me GCamBigg, 2 G's, anywhere. On YouTube, I'm GCamBigg on Twitch. Another link, it could be I make music and I go by Childish. So you'll find me on Apple Music, you'll find me on Spotify, Amazon. You're pointing.
Yeah, no, I listened to a couple of songs on Spotify. It's actually not bad. It's better than I was expecting.
Say that again, you cut out.
I said it was better than I was expecting.
Oh.
Most people that make music, I feel like they're always trash. Like they're like your like stereotypical like SoundCloud rappers, right?
Yeah.
But But no, it actually wasn't bad.
I make a lot of music just for fun, just for the fun out of it, you know, because I'm like,
I don't remember
hey, I
what
got
song
this
it
tune.
was. It was one
Make
of
it.
your top 5 on Spotify. I know you don't have a ton of songs out, but what was it? Childish. Yeah, you're still in my recently
while you do
played.
that, you can find me on Apple Music. You can find me on Spotify, Amazon. You can use me as a TikTok sound, I think, and Instagram.
Hey,
So I know, yeah, that's super cool.
there we go. I think it was Cuzzo.
Cuzzo, yeah, that's my most recent one.
Cuzzo, and I think I listened to Far Away.
Oh yeah, I think Far Away is my best song, I think.
But it was solid. I was like, all right,
you.
we'll listen to a little bit more.
Thank you.
I'll play it on some stream at some point. All right, that's gonna wrap it up though. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on episode 12.